Good evening,
Good evening,
all.
all.
We can
We can
start.
start. Most respected dignitaries, teachers, and dear participants. Good evening to one and all present here. Myself, Grishma P, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Commerce, welcome you all to the seventh day of 7-day online faculty development program, AI in Teaching and Research in line with NEP, organized by the PG Department of Commerce, IMS in association with IQAC and Kerala Higher Education Council. To invoke the blessings of Almighty, I call upon Shreya of Second Become Finance for the prayer. Shreya, please. Let's start with the session with a silent prayer. Now I invite Mr. Sriraj MK, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Commerce, IMS, to deliver the welcome speech. Sir, please.
Good evening, distinguished guest participants and esteemed speaker. Welcome to our virtual gathering for this insightful online FTP on the topic Beyond Books NEP's Paradigm Shift in Fostering Skills, Employability, and Industrial Collaborations. In the digital realm, we transcended geographical boundaries to share knowledge and foster collaboration. Today's discussions promise to be enlightening, and I encourage everyone to actively engage and make the most of this virtual learning experience. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Diana Ann Isaac, our respected resource person of the day. Dr. Diana Ann Isaac is Assistant Professor and Head of the Department of Commerce at Mark Athanasius College, Kottamagalam, a premier autonomous institution in the country affiliated to Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, Kerala. She has a consistent academic track record throughout her studies. She was the first rank holder in Mahatma Gandhi University in fourth group in the final batch of pre-degree in Kerala with an all-time record percentage. She secured third rank in BCom for the same university. She also secured first rank in MCom from the University of Kerala. She has also a rare distinction of having got an international exposure in teaching. She was previously as a faculty of ITC College of Business and Laws, Singapore, affiliated to University of London, and an adjunct faculty at Benedict College, Kansas, US. She has also successfully completed MBA Finance from University of Madras in 2011. She has completed her PhD in April 2019 from Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam. Her area of research was customer relationship management and business performance of NBFCs in Kerala. Arguably, her study was one of the pioneer studies about CRM in NBFCs in the country. In her college, she is presently member of IQAC and faculty in charge of Women's Cell. She has served as coordinator of a recently conducted international conference on the politics and economics of climate change in the January 2020. She has numerous publications and seminar presentation to her credit. She has also assumed the role of resource person for various faculty enrichment programs and student webinars across the state of Kerala. I, on behalf of everyone present here, wholeheartedly welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Next, I would like to welcome our vibrant principal, Dr. Tommy Anthony of HIMSS, as well as our constant supporter who is here to deliver message. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Next, it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Matilda Danny, Head of Commerce Department, our inspiration and motivator, who is going to propose vote of thanks today for today's session. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Finally, I would like to welcome all my fellow colleagues and all other participants from various colleges and institutions. Thank you for joining us, and let's embark our journey of shared knowledge and discovery. Once again, welcome you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite our energetic and vibrant principal, Dr. Tommy Anthony, to deliver the message. Sir, please.
Thank you, Krishna, for the good words, first of all, and good evening to all of you once again. Uh, my respected today's chief guest, Diana Mom, my college. As all of you know that I'm from Marathon College, and always I say with proud that I'm from Marathon College, and so my teacher is there today. That is, of course, even though she is junior to me, very junior to me, but but she is my teacher. So, and respect head of the department of Commerce Department of Yuva Kshetra College, Dr. Lechita Dani, and my other colleagues from Yuva Kshetra College and faculties from various colleges. Thank you for being with us this evening for this FTP program. And today we are winding up the 7-day National Faculty Development Program. Always I say that the teachers must be like LED lights. Like it's not in olden days it was like a Mobatia, but now it's not like that. You should light yourself, and you have to spread that light to everyone. At the same time, you have to enjoy. That means the same way I'm telling you, you should update yourself. Now this meeting today's no this FTP program was regarding with connected with the AI in teaching and research in lineup with the NEP. See, national education policy very clearly mentioned about there should the industry related things, and I'm not going in detail of anything that one. See, it will be today's resource person will be telling everything in detail. The same thing the NEP program, what the industry needs. You should make your students employable, and the collaboration with the industry. These are the very important things. Very important thing. So ma'am will be there because ma'am is it's not just even though she is having lot of rank holdings, like always she's come out with colorful ranks and all, but at the same time she is not limited her teaching her studies in theories only. She is adapted into like a join. She has taken the important things of industry. So so that's why maybe she has taken the same topic today for she has taken or chosen this topic. Your students must be, you have to equip your students for the industry. So that will be the topic, excellent topic. So I am taking this opportunity to congratulate ma'am for taking such a good program as a topic. And second thing, I'm taking this opportunity to congratulate Commerce Department of Yuva Kshetra College for arranging such a good program. The first day we have started with I think Dr. Vineet. He's from Government College, good resource person, Government Trikonatra. All passionate teachers. You have selected the best teachers only for the program, and I know that this program will be an excellent program for all of you, all the teachers. So congratulations to all of you, and I wish you all the very best to all of you, and a good day, good evening also. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Very nice to talk to you. This is like very nice to meet you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite the resource person of the day, Dr. Diana Ann Isaac, HOD and Assistant Professor, Mar Athanasius College, Kotamangalam, to handle the session on Beyond Books NEP's paradigm shift in fostering skills, employability, and industrial collaborations. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, one and all of you. Especially Principal Dr. Tommy sir, Head of the Department Matilda ma'am, Faculty Coordinator, my dear friends at the Yuva Kshetra Institute of Management, and all the participants of this online FTP. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Okay, kindly let me know if anything happens in between. So I feel myself extremely privileged to be with Yuva Kshetra Institute of Management Studies virtually in the 7th day of this national online FTP. And in the last 6 days, we have seen eminent resource persons, as Tommy sir was mentioning, the best you can bring. And among them was my own professor, Dr. Gabriel Simon Tattil. He was my professor at the University of Kerala. And my good friends, Dr. Vineet, Dr. Soni, and many others, we listened to AI, application of AI in teaching, application of AI in research. We have seen NEP We have had a comprehensive coverage of NEP yesterday. So we by now have a good idea about NEP, and my focus in this session is NEP's three focus, that is skill, employability, and industry connect. I consider it as a great privilege to be associated continuously with the Yuvakshetra Institute of Management Studies. I think it was way back in 2021, Matilda Madam had called me first for a national webinar. And ever since, the college, the faculty members, Matilda Ma'am, and the management, and especially the principal, we had a very good rapport. And I'm so happy that you are organizing so much academic pursuits. You are organizing so much of conferences which are a first in the state, because few months back you organized the international conference on AI, the very first in the state by any college, and later you have moved on to NEP, and this online FTP is a testament to that. So I really congratulate the principal, the management, the Department of Commerce for your great vision and foresight. With this introduction, let me kindly share my screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
So we have focused in this session on three aspects. How NEP is focusing on fostering skills, employability, and industry collaboration. So gone are the days when the focus was on learning from books and writing for the examination. NEP clearly makes it loud that the learning has to happen beyond the books. Before the concern of our country started about revamping the educational policy, way back in the year 2006, Time magazine, considered to be one of the most authoritative magazine across the world, an American magazine, which brings out features on a wide range of issues like politics, education, entertainment, hospitality, culture. It had an exclusive coverage on one particular aspect, how to build a student for the 21st century. That was in the December issue of 2006 cover of the magazine. And here, even in the US, that was a concern whether our educational system is failing, whether we are failing to raise a generation of kids who are able to address the challenges of 21st century. When we look at the children in the schools, a report says that 65% of the students who are in the classrooms in the schools now are or will be working for jobs that do not even exist today. Earlier, when we were in schools, the 90s kids, the 80s kids, or the 70s kids, when we were in school, if the teacher asked us, what do you want to become? We had ready-made answer. But unfortunately or fortunately for our children in the schools right now, they are studying for an industry. They are studying for a job that doesn't even exist today. So that is where the importance of teaching 21st century skills come. So what is this 21st century skills? 21st century skills means the basic skill a student should possess to survive in 21st century. We know that the skills that we impart to the student right now is not adequate for him to face the world. So 21st century skills have been broadly classified into three. This is based on a report by World Economic Forum, and the report says new vision for education, fostering social and emotional learning through technology. In this authoritative report, The 21st century skills which every student possesses is classified into three: foundational literacy, competence, and character qualities. So when you say that a person is literate, even now we say that if he is able to write his name correctly, if he is able to recognize alphabets correctly, he is regarded as a literate. But he is not literate as per 21st century. He is literate only if he has numerical literacy, if he has scientific literacy, if he has information and communication technology literacy, only if he has financial literacy, and if he has cultural and civic literacy, along with the literacy which you call as identifying the alphabets. So the literacy itself, the concept of literacy itself has been redefined in the 21st century. So if we think about the students who are coming to higher education, the students who are coming to colleges, let's see whether they possess these literacy, the basic foundational literacy, whether they are able to write a beautiful sentence in English or Malayalam or any regional language, whether they are able to calculate simple numerical problems, whether they are having financial literacy, whether they are able to uh, do a financial transaction, whether they are having the scientific literacy. So the basic foundational literacy itself is found to be lacking among the students who reach the higher education. The second is competencies. That is how a student approach complex challenges in the 21st century, which requires critical thinking and problem solving as the most important 21st century skill, followed by creativity, communication, and collaboration. No longer you are required to compete, but you are required to collaborate with their peers, with your competitors, with the industry. So collaboration skill has come as one of the much needed skill in the 21st century. And finally, character qualities. How a student is able to approach a change in the environment. When a student is studying in the school or college, he doesn't know for which industry he is going to work. And when he is actually reaching that industry, how easily he is able to adapt to that changing environment. That is determined by the character possessed by a student. And these ideal character involve curiosity, initiative, persistence, the ability not to give up, adaptability, leadership, social and cultural awareness. Now let's look into our classrooms and see whether these skills are present in our students. It is a matter of retrospection for teachers as well as for the students. Now, what is being displayed here clearly refers to, as you all know, the advent of the fourth industrial revolution, which we regard as powered by artificial intelligence, robotics, humanoids, nanotechnology, 3D printing, and much more. So, when the machines are capable to mimic many of the human capabilities, many of the human skills, how can our students, how can our children compete in the employment market? So, this gap is being addressed in our national educational policy. According to the survey among the employers, the top 10 skills looked forward by employers while recruiting have changed from 2015 to 2020. You can see that some of the skills have remained constantly in the top, whereas some other skills have moved up. For instance, creativity, which was the last sought skill in 2015, has moved up to the top three in 2020 because you are moving to a constantly uncertain VUCA world. and you need to be constantly creative to survive in a very uncertain job environment. Undoubtedly, complex problem solving is the most important skill, whether in 2020 or in 2015. Critical thinking has topped as the second most important skill, and followed by creativity, people management, coordination, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation capability, and cognitive flexibility. So there has been, within a span of 5 years, there has been a big change in the skill sets. If you come to 2025, of course, there will be more changes in this list, but few skills will remain relevant, like complex problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. The present National Education Policy 2020, which we discuss across the country, is the third most important reform in education that happened in our country. Can anyone type in the, or can anyone unmute and tell me which was the first two reforms? Can anyone tell me? Because you had listened to NEP quite comprehensively in the last 7 days. The first two reforms, can anyone unmute and tell me? Anyone, please? When was the first reform in the Indian education sector? Can anyone tell me? One thing is, if you chat, I may not be in the chat box, I may not be able to read. If someone can read the answer, that would be good, because since I am sharing the screen, I am not able to see the chat, which if you are chatting in the chat box. Can anyone tell me the first reform, when was it in India? Any answers, please? So since no one is giving the answer, probably you would have missed that. The first important reform happened in the year 1968, followed by 1986. And 2020 National Education Policy is the third important reform in the higher education sector. The two important reforms did not actually yield its full result in Indian context, probably because the implementation part of that policy suffered. If this part is not taken into concern, NEP 2020 is also likely to meet with a similar fate, because the quality of any education system, of any education reform, is equivalent to the quality of its teachers. So we as teachers, we as educators, we are responsible for implementing this reform in the country. So when we are talking about the skills to be possessed by the students, let us ask ourselves, do we have the skills to teach 21st century skills to our students? Are we competent to teach the 21st generation kids? Are we still following the same archaic method of teaching? Are we still rehearsing the same lectures which we were doing 10 years before? Are we implementing anything new in our classrooms? Are we experimenting with the pedagogy? Are we using any AI tools in our classrooms? We have listened to 7-day FDP. We have heard about a lot of AI tools. These tools, if we apply in our classrooms, we become more suitable to be a 21st century educator. So let's see, what are the 21st century skills an educator should provide so as to give full justice to the National Education Policy 2020. So the 21st century educator skills are also compartmentalized into three: foundational skills, competencies, and character quality. If you look previously, you have seen that we have seen 21st century skills to be possessed by the students. They also had three classification: foundational, competency, and character wise. So, as educators, we also have three important skills to acquire. One is foundational, the basic skills any educator should provide as a teacher so as to render our service. The foundational skills involve subject expertise. If we have subject expertise alone, we used to be called as a teacher. But with the advent of the National Education Policy 2020, subject expertise is just one of the foundational skill we need to possess as an educator. We need to have literacy in technology. We need to have good oratory skills. We need to be mentors for our students. And that is with respect to imparting the knowledge to the students in the classroom. But imparting knowledge is different from imparting knowledge impactfully. If we have to create an impact in the classrooms, if we have to create impact in the minds of the students who are in front of us, we need to possess additional competencies. All of us may not be gifted with very good communication skills. All of us may not have storytelling skills. All of us may not be innovative, but we can invest in learning them. We can invest our time. We can invest our efforts in acquiring these competencies over the years. We need to have good communication skills. We need to have insight. We need to have vision. We need to be innovative. We need to facilitate collaboration. We need to respect the differences among the students. We need to respect the pace of learning of different students in the class. We know that for the purpose of IQAC or purpose of NAC, we classify students as fast learners, slow learners, middle learners. But as a teacher, whether we are giving enough time for the slow learners to pick up, whether we are allowing them to learn at their own pace, whether we are respecting their pace, whether we are respecting the differences between the opinions of the students. Cross pollination of concepts, whether we are good at cross blending of concepts. Suppose we are teaching about ethics, how we can blend the ethics in marketing with the ethics in advertising, with the ethics in business, with the ethics in research. That is cross pollination. Then introspection. A teacher has to be introspective of the things he did, whether he has given full justice to his role. And a teacher has to be totally aware of the environment of the students, of the environment in which they are coming from, of the environment of the school, of the environment of the college, and of the local environment and global environment. Similarly, a teacher, an educator in the 21st century also have to be adaptable to changes. NEP is a big change that is happening in our lifetime. So how fast we can adapt to that change, that determines how successful you are as an educator. You need to be patient. We need to be empathetic. We need to be thoughtful. We need to be approachable. We need to have compassion. We need to have discipline. And above all, we need to have kindness. So all these are skills ideally required for an educator, which you and me should introspect and think whether we are qualified to be called as 21st century educators. So foundation skills, once again, we go elaborating on that. Subject knowledge is just about what to teach and how to teach. Whereas tech literacy, how beautifully you can use a interactive panel, how good you are with a PowerPoint, how good you are with the technological gadgets. how well you can implement digital tools in your learning and teaching mechanism, and oratory skills, how to captivate the attention of the students for 20 minutes continuously, for 30 minutes continuously. That is basically your oratory skill. And how to guide the students to ask questions. Not to silence the question, but to guide them to ask better questions. Competencies, we have seen communication. That means a teacher has to get the feedback from the students. Then only you can see that there is an effective communication. I can call myself as an effective communicator only when I get the feedback I desire from the audience. Then insightful, innovative, how innovative is my teaching methodology? Am I still following the 50-year-old teaching methodology used by our predecessors, or am I bringing a change? How can you promote collaboration between students, like collaborating your students with students of a better institution, an institution of higher importance or national importance? How you can bring a collaboration between your college and an institute of higher learning? How you can be respectful to the differences in identity, ideology, sex, race of the students in the class? And how to be more exciting in rendering your lectures by way of storytelling? And finally, the character qualities which an educator has to provide, that is to nurture, because we are not talking to blank slates. We are nurturing young minds. So how to make them evolve as meaningful, better citizens depend upon the qualities which a teacher imbibe in the students. So, how can we teach 21st century educator skills to the educators? So, we need to have specialized, curated courses for teachers to upgrade as 21st century educators. We need to have intensive subject training for all the new emerging areas which is going to be included in the syllabus of NEP. We need to redefine the way in which assessments were conducted so far. We need to think about other new models of assessment, open book assessment, quiz, flashcards. Think about new ways of assessing the students. Then literacy, digital literacy camps for teachers can be conducted by the colleges or the management to upgrade the digital skills of the teachers. Then teachers themselves can think about improving their oratory skills, look for various opportunities, various crash courses, various ways to upgrade the oratory skills, and learn new pedagogy, try to apply simple pedagogies in the classrooms. Then as teachers, we can also apply for leadership programs, mentorship programs offered by very good institutes, by industry, so we can learn or acquire leadership skills. We need to have a very strong peer-to-peer network among the teaching faculty across the country. So that will give you added confidence. You will give you added knowledge, added information. It gives you better opportunities for collaboration, better opportunities for industry partnership. There are different camps, there are different opportunities or different courses which helps to upgrade your skills as an educator or as a teacher. And also we have to work ourselves on improving the character qualities required for an educator. For instance, developing a growth mindset. One thing I have found in my peers, found in my students, and found across the teaching fraternity is that once we have settled as a teacher, we are totally satisfied, and we don't think beyond the teaching profession, that maybe in all other professions people constantly think of upgrading themselves to move up the ladder, to move to another ladder, whereas in teaching, once you enter the teaching profession, once you enter as a teacher, you retire as a teacher. You don't think about any other profession, you don't think about any other assignments, you don't think about any growth ladder. But as a 21st century educator, we need to develop the growth mindset. We need to think about ways to grow, ways to establish yourself, ways to establish your identity. Think about different ways in which you can reach out to the community, reach out to the people. So you need to have a growth mindset, which each of us should try to develop on ourselves. And we also have to create more opportunities for teachers for cross-border teaching. For instance, a teacher from India, if he goes and teaches a few months in Nepal, we will be able to appreciate the hardships of that people, hardships of the students. When he come back to India, he'll be a much more compassionate teacher. So we need to give more cross-border experiments to our educators. Now, the need for NEP 2020. There is a very famous quotation in a university, in the gate of the university in South Africa. Of course, it is penned by the most admired South African, Nelson Mandela. And they have just narrated it very simply, how to destroy a country. It's very easy to destroy a country. You don't need bombs. You don't need missiles. You just downgrade the quality of the education system of that country, and the country will decline. The country will destroy. The country will deteriorate on itself. For instance, if you deteriorate the quality of education in a country, if you allow cheating in examinations and the students clear the exam, suppose such students become doctors, patients will naturally die at the hands of such doctors. If such students become engineers, of course, building will collapse. If such students become bankers, the country will become bankrupt. If such students become religious heads, humanity will die. If such students become judges, justice will be lost. So the collapse of education system is the collapse of the nation. So the need for NEP 2020 arises from this situation. If we want to build a strong nation, we need to have a strong education system. So what are the major problems faced by the Indian higher education system now? We have a severely fragmented educational ecosystem. We have a lot of different nomenclature for various educational systems in the country. We have self-financing institutions, we have autonomous institutions, we have universities, we have aided college, we have affiliated colleges, and each of it has its own way of operation, different hierarchies in the ecosystem, different fragmented institutions in the ecosystem. So NEP tries to bring together all these fragmented educational ecosystem into a single umbrella. And so far, the Indian higher education system, we have placed importance on memorization and rote learning, and less emphasis on cognitive skills and learning outcomes, which is being addressed in NEP. And in the higher education system in India, we can see that there is a rigid separation of disciplines at a very early stage. That is from 10th onwards, after 10th onwards, there is a rigid separation of disciplines. Students are compartmentalized into science, humanities, commerce, before even they appreciate the beauty of generalization. They are being pushed into early specialization, streaming the students into narrow areas of studies. And the teachers and institutions have very limited autonomy. Even if we call it as an autonomous institution, the autonomy available for a teacher is very, very less, very, very limited. And even now, the Indian higher education system is not fully accessible to the majority of the socio-economically disadvantaged section of the society. When we sit in Kerala and think about this, we may not fully understand. But when we look into the remotest part of the country, limited access is another major problem faced by the higher education system in India. And when you look at India, India right now is going through a very important stage of growth. India has something we call it as our demographic dividend. And that is going to be the demographic disaster for the country if they remains unemployed. If the vast majority of the employable category of population in India, if they remain unemployed, this demographic dividend can transfer into a demographic disaster. There has been an interesting research paper titled as Shortage of Skilled Workers, a Paradox of the Indian Economy. Indian economy is growing with its domestic demand going up, creating a lot of employment opportunities. But when India is passing through its highest stage of demographic dividend, India is facing a grave challenge of the shortage of skilled workers, which is a very ironic situation for the country. So, what are the features of India's demographic dividend? The working age population, which is from 15 years to 64 years old in India, has surpassed the dependent population, that is, children below 14 years and people above 65 years old, since 2018. So, the demographic dividend is available in India since 2018, and it is expected to last for 37 years, that is, until 2055. So this is one of the longest span of demographic dividend, longest span of window that is available for any country, which makes it more important. But when we come to harnessing the demographic dividend of India, one major challenge faced by our country is lack of quality education and skilling. The Indian education system does not adequately prepare our youngsters to come up with skills that are expected in the job market, leading to a big mismatch between what the skills the industry expect and what the skills the students possess. According to a recent survey, 2018 survey by National Council of Applied Economic Research, out of more than 5 lakh students who pass out every year, 54% are found to be unemployable. That means more than half of the students who pass out from different institutions every year are found to be unemployable. Another report by UNICEF in the year 2019 says that at least 47% of the Indian youth are not having the skills necessary for employment in 2030. So the India has got the twin challenges of managing its large workforce, the large employable population, to give employment opportunities to the large employable population, as well as to give the necessary skills and training for them to become profitably employed. So we know that the importance of skill development, there is no second opinion that skill development is very important for any individual to enhance his productivity. When we are more skilled, we tend to be more productive, we tend to be more in demand, we tend to contribute more. And when we are skilled, we tend to be more creative, we tend to be more enterprising, we tend to be become more of as entrepreneurs rather than job seekers. And skilled employees are very much required for a country to evolve globally. When we have schemes like Make in India, when we have skills like Atmanirbhar, and India can evolve as the manufacturing hub of the world, or India can become truly globally competitive only if we have the skilled manpower. Now, coming to NEP's focus on skill development. NEP's focus on skill development is mainly through vocational training programs. NEP has removed the taboo of Indian education system towards vocational training. Vocational training was considered to be something inferior, something secondary so far. But here in NEP, we have integrated vocational training programs into the mainstream curriculum of the student. Secondly, Industry Connect. So, Industry Connect through internships have become an essential part of in national educational policy. So, NEP has rightfully addressed the social stigma associated with considering vocational course as a career opportunity. And NEP also gives importance to the skills such as soft skills such as communication, collaboration, teamwork, critical problem solving, decision making, analytical skill thinking, and other life skills which are required for a student to survive in the 21st century. And let me call your attention to this particular book by Roberta Heinlein. It's titled Time Enough for Love. So, in this book, the author says how a human being should evolve as a complete human being. What are the traits for a complete human being? A human being should be able to do routine tasks. He should be able to change a diaper, a baby's diaper. He should be clever enough or smart enough to plan an invasion into another territory. He should be skilled enough to butcher a hawk. He should be able to steer a ship. He should be able to design at least his house. He should be able to come up with at least a rough design for his house. He should be at times able to pen some few thoughts, a sonnet or a poem. He should be able to at least balance his accounts, his family budget. He should be able to build a wall around at least a compound wall. He should be able to do small medical therapies like setting a bond. He should be compassionate enough to comfort a person. He should be powerful enough to give orders, and he should be mature enough to cooperate. He should be subordinate enough to take orders. He should know to act alone. At the same time, he should know to cooperate with the team. He should be able to solve simple equations. He should have the capability to analyze a new problem. He should have the capability to know which maneuver is good for which plant. He should know how to manipulate a computer program. He should at times know to cook a good meal. He should know to fight efficiently, and he should know to die gallantly. Specialization is for insects. Human being should be a complete whole human being. So that is what essentially national educational policy also tries to bring out. The Industry Connect and NEP. Industry and academia represents the two aspects, that is supply and demand. Academia is the supply side and industry represents the demand side. So NEP tries to bring a balance between what the industry requires and what skills that academic community has to imbibe. There has always been three issues between industry and academia. That is issues of matching the skills, mismatching the skills, and pipeline. Matching relates to issues connected with the supply and the demand. What the skills the students possess out of the college and what the industry expects. Mismatching means how the academia can correct the skill deficiency. And pipeline means what are the skills the industry would need in the future. And academia should think about enhancing that skills in the students. So the NEP encourages a lot of internships, apprenticeship, industry visits to enhance the industry connect between the academia and industry. There are different ways in which academia can interact with industry. The first thing is academic institutions. The industry can assist the academic institution by helping with their curriculum, by being a member of their board of studies, by giving guest lectures on selected topics. That is what we see in majority of our colleges now. We invite people from the industry to deliver a lecture, or we seek their assistance when we redraft our syllabus. So that is one common practice which we are following right now. Another way is academic institutions reaching out to industry. Academic in this model, the if the industry cannot come to the university or the college can start small work groups or small teaching labs in the industry for a few days, for a few weeks, like real life industry experience. They can have a camp inside the industry. Then another ways in which industries can connect with academy is that industries can build academic institutions. For instance, if textile industry need skilled employees, textile industry can start an institute, textile institute, and it can create employees, create students who are specifically suited for the textile industry. Another model is within the academic institutions, they can incubate and build industries, which is also promoted by the government of Kerala, government of India. They also promote incubation and startups within the campus. And the final and the most cherished one is academy and industry come together and co-create the education. So both the academy and industry can create values. They will discuss, they will collaborate, and they will come up with education, quality education to the students from time to time. And I would like your attention to this particular quote by one of the most admired diplomat that India has ever seen, Mr. Shashi Tharoor. He has rightfully noted that if we do not get our education priorities right, many violent incidents would recur. Maoist violence can happen again. Because we will be faced with frustrated, unemployed youngsters who have no hope in the economy. And when they don't have any jobs, they would prefer picking up the gun as an alternative to the job. So that is a danger, that is a catastrophe we need to avoid. So to have a good education is not just about social and economic equality, social and economic future of India, but for the national security also, to have an equitable education is necessary. And if India fails to educate and train, the demographic dividend that we possess, we are going to have a big disaster. And they may be lost to the extreme act of terrorism and violence. So let me conclude with this beautiful quote by Benjamin Disraeli. This is a quote for all the educators. The secret of success is to be ready when your opportunity comes. And our opportunity is now knocking in our doors. NEP is our opportunity. And let's be ready when this opportunity knocks at our doors very soon. We are all going to implement NEP in Kerala in the next academic year. So be ready with the skills required to teach the 21st century students. Let's be the change that we want to see. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable session. Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can clarify now. Dear participants, if you have any queries, you may clarify now.
Thank you for the feedback that is coming up. I can see many of the familiar faces, and it's such a pleasure to meet you all virtually.
Is there any courses for the teachers to learn more about AI?
Of course, a lot of online FTPs are happening, sir.
You can just share some link, ma'am, if possible.
I have a few links. If I can share that to Matilda, ma'am, and we will share. Yeah, because I also keep looking for such sessions because we are all learning together. So
Okay, thank
I
you.
think
Thank you,
we should grab every opportunity like that.
Okay.
Almost every week this is happening. Not very costly also, and
Okay.
at convenient times. We'll let you know, sir.
Okay, thank you, madam, so much.
Thank you for that interaction.
Thank you, sir. Now we look forward for your valuable feedback. Dear participants, kindly share your feedback about the session. Anyone, please?
Good evening, all. I'm Akhila, Assistant Professor of Commerce from St. Mary's College. I'd like to share my feedback. That's we all know that AI is very relevant in the current scenario, and all these days we were seeing the opportunities of AI on research, teaching, NLP, and finally today we looked at the importance in the industry also. So I'd like to thank all the um, resource persons for the wonderful and eminent sessions, which were all very knowledgeable. And all these, we got a very good idea on all these topics that we covered all these days. And I appreciate, and I also appreciate the management and the faculty members of Commerce Department of Yuvakshetra College for organizing such a wonderful session. You choose very eminent and experienced faculties for the session, and I thank all of you for giving such an opportunity to attend these kind of seminars. And I look forward for having such sessions for our upliftment. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? So, dear participants, we have reached the end of 7-day online National Faculty Development Program. To officially wind up the session, I call upon Dr. Matilda Danny, Head of the Department, PG Department of Commerce, YIMS, to propose the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected dignitaries, valued resource persons, enthusiastic participants from both within and outside DMs, my fellow faculty members, good evening to all. As the head of the postgraduate department of commerce and the organizer of this enriching program, it is both a privilege and a pleasure to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to each one of you for your invaluable contributions, which made this event a resounding success. First and foremost, my deepest gratitude to the Kerala State Higher Education Council for their unwavering support and collaboration. Your vision for enhancing the quality of higher education through innovative initiatives like these is truly inspirational. To our director, Reverend Dr. Matthew George Varian, thank you, Father,
for your leadership and encouragement. Your support has been a cornerstone of our efforts, guiding us to aim higher and achieve more. Dr. Tommy Anthony, our principal, thank you for your constant guidance and for setting the standards that drive us to excel. Your insights and foresight have been invaluable to the planning and execution of this program. Thank you, sir. I thank Reverend Dr. Lino Imiti, Reverend Father Lino Imiti, Assistant Director, for his enthusiastic participation and the spiritual guidance he provides to our institution. Thank you very much, Father. Our Vice Principal, Reverend Dr. Joseph Olikil Kunal, your wisdom and support have been instrumental in navigating the challenges of organizing such a comprehensive program. We are deeply appreciative of your involvement and encouragement. My heartfelt gratitude to our IKC coordinator, Ms. Shailaja Menon, and a special note of thanks to the heads of BCom CA and BCom Taxation sections, Dr. Kirti MS and Dr. Ramya J, for your cooperation and support. To the distinguished resource persons who graced us with their expertise and insights over these 7 days, we owe a debt of gratitude. Your sessions were not only informative but transformative. I take immense pleasure in extending a heartfelt thanks to today's esteemed resource person, Dr. Diana Isaac, HOD and Assistant Professor at MA College, for her enlightening session titled Beyond Books, NEP's Paradigm Shift in Fostering Skills, Employability, and Industrial Collaborations. Your presentation was not only insightful but also visionary. Your expertise and in-depth analysis of how NEP facilitates a significant shift from traditional rote learning to a more skill-based, employable, and industry-connected education system have been both inspiring and illuminating. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so
To
much,
all the
ma'am.
participants, from within IMSS and beyond, your enthusiasm and eagerness to learn and adapt to new paradigms in education have been the true driving force behind this program. Your engagement and feedback have made this a truly collaborative and enriching experience for everyone involved. Last but not least, my heartfelt thanks to my fellow faculty members and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make this event a success. Your hard work, dedication, and spirit of teamwork have been the foundation upon which this program was built and executed flawlessly. Thank you once again to one and all for making this program not just possible, but a milestone in our continuous journey towards embracing AI in teaching and research in line with the national education policy. Let us carry forward the insights and knowledge gained from this program to enrich our pedagogical practices and research endeavors. May we continue to inspire and be inspired as we strive for excellence in all our future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, we have shared the feedback link in the chat box. Kindly fill the form. And regarding the certificate, the hard copy of the certificate will reach you within a maximum of 2 weeks in your institution address. And kindly stay in the WhatsApp group until you receive the certificate. Thank you all, dear participants, for your support and cooperation to make this program a grand success. Once again, thank you all and good night.